custody. No one's above the law. Let's bring in one of the leading voices in Congress on the issue of immigration. Congressman Henry Cuellar is a Democrat from Texas and joins us now. It's good to see you, Congressman. We've talked and had a number of stories about the back and forth or the clashes between the Trump administration and local officials. Your thoughts on what we're learning about now, the arrest of the mayor of Newark, New Jersey?
Well, again, if it was a federal facility and he got asked to leave, and if it was done repeatedly, this is allegedly from what I've been looking at, then he committed trespass, and I think that's why he was being arrested. Now, I know some of my colleagues are there, good folks. I remember some time ago in the appropriations, on the Homeland Appropriations, I put language there where members of Congress can go and enter ICE facilities. I don't know if that's been stripped out already, but members of Congress have certain rights and to go into certain facilities, but can't speak for the mayor.
So it would be different. That's interesting. And this was a congresswoman who shared this video, as I pointed out. It would be different for you, say, than it would be for a local mayor, possibly.
Yeah, well, what happened sometime, and again, I don't know about the language if it's been changed, but the language that I had was that a member of Congress in the past, they would say, well, we'll let you know in the future if you can come in. I put language in the appropriations that members of Congress can go and inspect a facility and get tour of a facility because they were doing that in the past. So I added that language. So if that language is still there, members of Congress should be treated. But if the mayor went there, and again, I'm just going on the facts, the alleged facts, and he got asked to leave a federal facility run by GEO, but still under the supervision of ICE, then if he got warned, that it could be considered trespass. But hopefully this is something where we don't go into any criminal proceedings.
Okay, so I want to move on to one or two other topics with you, but just to be clear on this, it seems that if what we are being told is what happened, do you think this arrest could have been justified? If someone's trespassing, they're asked to leave, it's a federal facility, and that would lead to possibly an arrest.
And again, I don't know the facts, just
right.
What I've seen, but if he was inside the parking lot of a federal facility, he got asked repeatedly leave, then you're talking about a trespass. No ifs or no buts about it. But again, this is just the facts that we've seen lately.
Makes sense. I guess at least two other things that are immigration related. One, I just saw an article crossing from the White House that Stephen Miller, of course, is the deputy chief of staff, and made comments today that President Trump and his team are, quote, actively looking at suspending habeas corpus as part of the crackdown on immigration. Any reaction to that?
Look, I'm very strong on border security, but there's got to be some sort of due process involved here. You know, I feel that if somebody should be deported, I'll be the first one to say they deported. Private facilities, ICE really doesn't have any a number of ICE facilities. I support those private facilities to make sure that we move people in. So, but again, I'm strong on border security, but there has to be some sort of due process involved.
Okay, speaking of the border, in your neck of the woods where you represent and have been, very involved in this issue for many years, I'm curious to what you think of the Trump administration declaring certain areas along the border as military zones, which effectively, as I understand it, makes them kind of the extension of a military base for all intents and purposes. You see some of those zones that we put up on the screen right now. What do you make of this?
Right, and again, they're getting creative to make sure that the law enforcement, or should I say, the military, doesn't violate that the provision, get involved in civil enforcement. But they're now, using it, say this is an extension of a military, and if you come in, then you're going into a military facility. That is that area, the new mouse that they added. I think this is the second time. So it's very creative. And I don't have a problem with that as long as the military is not enforcing immigration law.
Okay. Congressman, our next interview is about the new Pope. I know you're Catholic. I saw your tweet about Pope Leo. So before you go, maybe some thoughts on the first American-born Pope leading the Catholic Church. What did you make of that yesterday? As surprised as the rest of us?
I was,
Yeah.
And again, I'm a Catholic, but I'm really excited that, you can have an American involved for the first time in hundreds of years. So I'm excited. He born in Chicago, of course, but then he ended up also in Peru. So he's got that global perspective, and I hear down to earth. And I look forward to meeting him. I met the prior Pope Francisco. I even got his autograph. We put Francisco. We were talking in Spanish, and so I got to meet him twice in person, and I'm excited about Leo the Fourth. And there was a reason why he picked Leo the 14th after Leo the 13th to make sure that he protects the working class and the poor people. And by the way, talking about churches, this is the San Jose Mission, built in the 1960s. The San Jose Mission in San Antonio, Texas. So there's a Catholic background here.
Makes a nice backdrop. Obviously, the wind's picking up there with your AirPods, but it's a great backdrop for an interview in San Antonio. It's always good to see you, Congressman. Thank you for coming on today. Covered a lot of ground, including the breaking news from Newark. The Congressman from Texas, Henry Cuellar, Democratic Congressman. We have a Republican Congressman coming up at the top